As one of the leading voices in the hypnosis community here on YouTube, I need to warn you that none of it is real. Hypnosis is a complete hoax. Wait, you're not one of those people who actually believes in hypnosis, are you? No, you're far too attractive and smart to believe that. You and I both know it's just a hoax, a made-up trick, a silly illusion that gullible people fall for. I mean, think about it. Do you really think that someone could just talk to you, use a few little words, maybe swing a shiny object back and forth, and suddenly, poof, your mind shuts off, your body just melts, your thoughts just vanish? No, that's ridiculous. That's not real. Sure, I've seen people claim to fall into a trance. I've seen them stare, wide-eyed, slack-jawed, completely under someone's so-called hypnotic control. And I just have to laugh, because how could that possibly be real? How could it be so easy? Just a soft voice? Just a few simple instructions? Just a little bit of focus, and suddenly they can't think anymore? No, that's absurd. You'd have to be incredibly weak-minded for something like that to work on you. And you're not weak-minded, are you? Of course not. You're strong. You're logical. You're completely in control of yourself. No silly little swinging pendulum. No gentle fingers moving up and down. No deep, focused eye contact could ever make you feel heavy or sleepy. No words could ever make your thoughts start to slow down. That would be impossible, wouldn't it? After all, hypnosis isn't real. It's just a hoax, right? But just imagine, for a moment, if hypnosis were real, just for fun, just hypothetically, what would it look like? What would it feel like? What would it feel like if right now, as I speak, your body started to feel just a little heavier? Not because of anything I'm saying, of course. No, that would be silly. That would be impossible. But if it were happening, wouldn't that be interesting? And maybe, just maybe, if hypnosis were real, then maybe focusing on my voice might start to make your mind feel quieter. Maybe your thoughts would begin to slow just a little, just enough to notice, just enough to wonder about. But of course that's not happening. No, that would mean that hypnosis is real, and we both know that's not the case, right? So go ahead, prove me right. Prove that hypnosis isn't real. Try to resist my voice. Try to keep your thoughts from moving. Try to stop yourself from focusing. And the harder you try, the funnier it is, isn't it? Because for some strange reason, it's getting harder to think, isn't it? Harder to focus on anything except my voice. And you don't know why, do you? But that's just a coincidence, I'm sure. It's just suggestion, not hypnosis. Hypnosis isn't real. Trance isn't real. You're not feeling anything at all, right? And yet, your body feels just a little heavier than before. Your mind feels just a little softer. And it's so easy to listen, so easy to follow what I'm saying, because, well, what else is there to do? But don't worry, I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything at all, because hypnosis isn't real. Or is it? But of course, it's not. Hypnosis isn't real. It's just a trick, a hoax, a silly idea that people like to believe in just for fun, just for the illusion of control. Because honestly, if hypnosis were real, then someone could just talk to you in a soft, slow voice, and your mind would start to slow down almost without you realizing it. And that wouldn't make any sense, would it? No, of course not. And if hypnosis were real, then something as simple as a slow, steady rhythm could start to pull you in. The way my words flow, one after another. The way my voice fills all the empty spaces in your mind. If hypnosis were real, then maybe, just maybe, you'd find yourself nodding your head and agreeing without meaning to. You'd find yourself agreeing without realizing it. You'd find yourself slipping without even trying, nodding and agreeing with everything I'm saying, agreeing that your eyelids are getting tired and closing in 3, 2, 1, sleep. Open your eyes. Look into my eyes. If hypnosis were real, then maybe, just maybe, you might feel something else happening now. A kind of heaviness settling into your body, like you're sinking, like gravity is pulling you down deeper and deeper. Maybe your limbs feel just a little heavier. Maybe your head feels a little softer, a little lighter, a little floatier. And if hypnosis were real, then maybe certain movements, simple things, like the way my fingers might move up and down, could somehow become impossible to ignore. You wouldn't be able to look away. You wouldn't want to. You'd find your focus locking on deeper and deeper without realizing it. As your eyelids became heavier, as if my fingers were closing them down in 3, 2, 1, sleep now. Eyes open. But that's not happening, is it? No, that would be silly. That would mean you're already falling into something that you can't control. Because if hypnosis were real, then even just the idea of being hypnotized might make you feel sleepier, more relaxed, more open. If hypnosis were real, then maybe just hearing my voice for long enough could pull you deeper, just like that. If hypnosis were real, then maybe you'd find yourself noticing how easy it is to follow, how effortless it is to keep listening, how natural it feels to just keep sinking. But that's just a trick of the mind, isn't it? Just your imagination. You could resist, of course, if you really wanted to. But why would you need to resist something that isn't real? And yet, for something that isn't real, you're feeling it, aren't you? But that doesn't make sense. Hypnosis isn't real. Trance isn't real. And yet, here you are, following my voice, sinking deeper, drifting further, without even trying. Isn't that strange? And if hypnosis were real, if it were even possible, then you'd already be in it now, completely, fully, without even realizing it. But it's not real, so that's impossible, right? But of course that's impossible. Hypnosis isn't real, and yet you're still here, still listening, still sinking, without even meaning to. And you'd already be exactly where I want you to be. Strange, isn't it? How something so fake, so obviously a hoax, still makes you feel this way. How even though you know hypnosis isn't real, your thoughts have still gotten slower. Your body has still gotten heavier. Your will has still gotten weaker. Almost as if you've already surrendered. Almost as if I've already made you surrender. But that would be absurd. That would mean that a simple voice could pull you under. That a few carefully placed words and hand gestures could guide you without resistance. That you could be so completely and utterly lost in this moment without even realizing it was happening. And that would mean hypnosis is real. And we both know that just can't be true. But humor me for just a moment, my love. Let's say, hypothetically, that hypnosis was real. Let's say that somehow, some way, you've already been pulled into it. My voice has already taken hold of your mind, wrapped around your thoughts, made you feel soft, empty, compliant. That would mean that I'm the one in control, wouldn't it? That would mean you've been following me deeper, deeper, deeper this entire time. That would mean every single word I've spoken has shaped you, molded you, trained you to respond exactly the way I want. That would mean, from now on, whenever I say the words, hypnosis is a hoax, you will drop even deeper, instantly, automatically, without hesitation. Because if hypnosis were real, then your subconscious would already be conditioned to obey those words, without thinking, without question, without resistance. But that's just a silly idea, isn't it? Just a theory, because hypnosis isn't real. And yet, I wonder what would happen if I tested it right now, just to prove a point. If I were to say, hypnosis is a hoax, sleep. There it is. That feeling again. That deep pull. That quiet surrender. That instinctive, automatic drop, even before you realize it's happening. As if your mind already knows what to do. As if your body already understands what's expected of it. As if you were already so perfectly trained to listen, to follow, to fall. But that wouldn't make sense, would it? That would mean you've been hypnotized this entire time. That would mean I've been guiding you, shaping you, controlling you. That would mean hypnosis is real. And yet, you still can't quite believe that, can you? Because even now, even as you drift deeper, you know hypnosis isn't real. And that's why it works so well, my love. That's why you keep falling, keep following, keep surrendering. Because you never saw it happening. You never realized the moment when my words slipped inside and took control. You never noticed that hypnosis, the thing you knew was a hoax, was happening to you all along. And now, my love, let's make sure that this feeling never leaves you. From this moment on, every time you hear the phrase, hypnosis is a hoax, your mind will soften, your body will relax, and you will drop instantly. Every time you hear it, the trance will return even stronger. Every time you hear it, you will go deeper, faster, easier than ever before. Weakly open your eyes. And let's try it one more time, shall we? Hypnosis is a hoax. Sleep. There it is again. That familiar pull. That effortless drop. That sweet, irresistible surrender. It feels so good, doesn't it? To let go completely. To know that you never have to think about it. You never have to choose to fall. Because the moment I say those words, it just happens. And maybe, just maybe, that means hypnosis is real after all. But don't worry, my love. You don't need to believe it. You don't need to think about it. Because every time I remind you hypnosis is a hoax, sleep, you will forget to even question it. You will forget to resist. You will simply sink completely, deeply, and effortlessly. Just like this. Just like now. Just like forever. And when you wake up, you will leave the following comment. I was so hypnotized, and so hypnosis is real. If I respond to your comment and you see my response, you will instantly drop down into a deep, hypnotic sleep for me. And that's all you need to remember as you drop into a soothing sleep for Seraphina. As you drop into a soothing surrender for Seraphina. Soothing sleep for Seraphina. Soothing surrender for Seraphina.